but is faced with a dam which held an ocean of storms. Your mother would still be alive today if you didn't love that band so much.
I woke from a dream last night. I had wings.
Unnecessary funerals and depreciated human life.
You're watching Channel Austin. I'm C'est La Vie here on the East by Southeast Spoken Word Showcase, and I'm here with a long-time faithful poet to the show, Anyah Dishon. How are you?
I'm doing really well. This year I finished editing a movie, and it's called Wisdom of the Wayshores, New Paths to the Future. It's a very positive outlook on the direction humanity is moving, and it features 10 different speakers that are prominent on the planet right now for help moving us forward in this positive direction. And I did the sound score to it.
Wow.
For music. So this is a big opening for me. It's taking the music one more level.
What have you brought this year?
It's a collage. It's from 2010, 11, and 12.
Okay.
Different languages. Some is Celt. Some of the poetry will be Celtic. Some are about events. I went to New York. I wrote a little bit about New York. And some are very contemplative to their picture words. And so they'll move you into a reality where you can kind of touch home. And some people will associate with this poetry. So that's where I took this type of poetry this year, that I'm presenting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always intrigued. I'm always something new, and you always just take me by surprise. So I'm very curious to see what you brought. So Austin, Texas, Anyah Dishon.
Let's make a movie. You can be the camera, and I'll be the lens. Let's make a movie. Point yourself toward the midst, toward the horizon that is eternal, and capture where it meets the sky, the horizon that is not a flat line. Horizon that curves and is endless. When and wherever one travels it, it just keeps going on, that endless horizon. And wherever you stop, I'll focus. But when I focus, just know that something else outside of my vision will be out of focus. And so keep on turning new directions to keep us alive, keep moving. Brokia may get bored, but not with you as a camera and me as a lens. We don't need film. It will only limit our movie. Can you imagine a movie without an end? Oh yes, and your record button or pause, let it go. Just let it run, because I'll always be there as your lens, and I am open and taking it in, even if you shut off. Let's make a movie. Our new paradigm. This is the infusion of new blood, a new paradigm, and a brand new now. As we shift to this newness, no more fragments, no more jagged-edged mirrors to show us how to live our lives off the old, distorted plan. And our visors are thrown off to the side and propel us forward, no matter what it seems we see or what we might scoff. To the left and to the right and in front and in back, it's all there now, with no end. Looking up for the first time, with new sight and new light, we see who are our new friends. As everything becomes, because now we know thought is always realized, and consciousness is a matter of fact, alive, and illumined in no time. That was prophesied. The new paradigm where one understands all things, and we find out that in the greater universe all things understand the one. And there is release because it is what it is. And what now can be done? But choose a new perception. Choose a new paintbrush, a new medium. Lift a new rock. Sense a new soul. We belong with one another here and beyond the sun. Who now is in front of our new eyes, and what is the new tune? We feel a new light. We turn a new direction. We receive a new signal from the moon. Makes for a new way of living. There is a sense of newness in the air, of no more strife in trying to belong, and strange, at first, as it may seem, and unclear. But the strangeness of acceptance of agape, faith, love, and wisdom becomes norm, as allowing becomes our form. And the level of eternity we tap into is altogether our brand new. Allowing this new paradigm is grand release from strife and grasping. Allowing and moving, honoring the allowing more than the resistance that dwells in you and our past. And we realize resistance was billions of light years ago when things were made from it. In this type new creation, things are made from the pendulum at rest, still, as before anything was, and free from resistance. We lay down our arms in the new paradigm of prosperous peace and put on the sustenance of the Lamb's pure fleece. White horse. I was on a white horse. You were on the road. I stopped to give you a helping hand, not knowing what doth abode. You charmed me with your kind word. The serpent talking was not heard. You struck my soul with a heavy blow. Little did you know, my white horse is only true to me, but in the future you would see. You promised me the heaven and the sky, then you left me there on the road to die. Now you on the white horse, me in the road, your empty chest held high, and as off to town you rode. You on the white horse, little did you know, my horse is only true to me, only a seer's dream would show. You promised me the heaven and the sky, then you left me there to crumble and die. Strange you looked on that white horse, as I looked down the road. Little would you ever know what the days ahead for you abode. You strode into the town with women, song, and wine, and left me on the road with death to dine. You sold the jewels from my white horse saddle to buy a sword to fight your dragon battle. To Avalon I dreamt when nearing my death's door. To Avalon I traveled in a boat docked at the shore. My white horse awaited me on dry land. At Avalon I stood tall and raised my hand. My soul and white horse will never come to part, my soul forever united with Pegasus' bright heart. You lay on the floor in a room, you were drunken with the wine. Your sword was stolen by a gypsy whose eyes caught a ruby shine. A ruby this gypsy recognized. I saved her life once on a road, and much to her surprise, she would reunite me with White Horse once more. I could look into his eyes when I reached the shore. She at midnight ran to Blacksmith Brown and melted down his sword, your sword, and made a ruby crown. Now the boat it crosses through the mist on the lake. Dry land approached, and nature once more is awake. Gypsy on the shore and crowned ruby headband, I reunite with Pegasus' bright heart in my hand. Now me on my white horse, you would never know who the gypsy was in the room that night. Now me on my white horse, you lay puddled in your wine, the gypsy with the crown on her head, with royalty she'll dance and dine. These lines on the face aren't ugly. They are lines like the print in the book. Just take the time to look at the illustrations and you will see the beauty between the lines. They tell a story, his and her story. They tell our story. Quite a line we read when we see through the haze of all the distraction that creates a crafty maze to keep us from entering the paradise valley where we'll never want to leave. We only take with us what leaves a mark, and we share this mark with others as we mark them. We look for lines, fine lines, deep lines, crooked lines, curved lines, colored lines. We look for lines we branded them with to see if we exist in their life. In their memory, which really has no lines, only yellow stickies or pink stickies, blue or white. They have color, you know. Whatever your memory resonance can resolve to, that color is your color, mixed with others. fine lines left from fear or joy or serious contemplation for far too long. And the patterns are visible and create lines that become wall relief and art that can be interpreted by your own wisdom, according to your own knowledge, according to your own experience, for what is true for you, but maybe not for others. These are like Nazca lines. And somewhere we let it go, this determining glare, pull out the stops until our mind hops to another track or another crevice that is only part empty. Spontaneously, creatively, we change the signature and a smile comes across our face that leaves a new line that shines. That spark that we thought was buried beneath the canyon-high walls, we created thick so no one could crack through the layers of accumulated memory to release the beauty that is buried. We want to keep it to ourselves. Too bad our physical eye can see only the canyons, the crevices, the rough and thick dunes of rolling rows and hilly hills over time formed by the inner beauty rays that beam from inner presence. And the layers were formed, try as we may to keep them solid, they dissolve in beauty's outflow, the motions of pattern of our inner essence, such simple and pure inner beauty, cutting through the hilly dunes of layered time. Beneath the accumulated layers projected on us, by us, the ember is still glowing, and in the glow, the lines disappear one by one, and the pattern begins to spread like fractals to cover the face, and the story in our face shape shifts, and laughter bubbles from within like the coyote who has fooled us once again. And the lines, they become like telephone lines that reach across the country with lively chatter. And these lines, they tell a story, his and her story. These lines on the face, they tell our story. This place that looks like dried grass, dead trees, empty bird's nest, and visible millions of telephone poles, will spring into green, into plushness that is vibrant and full of energy to spare. This place has, through billions of years of cycles, been through all of these cycles, where spring has come and gone, and we just recall this lifetime. This place where dinosaurs stood grazing and leaving their tracks underneath mounds of mud yet to be excavated. It's full of mystery, and I am awed. This place has records of springtimes where meteors have left their dust trail right before the seeds break out of the pods, if we were only awake to see them fall. The sky in the spring has certain signs only particular to its season, and that was the map the ancient astroarchaeologists used to record its evolution during its revolution in this solar system. This place where I stand is temporal, and yet I feel the anchored ground beneath my feet, and it helps me breathe a breath and a sigh of relief that one more day. This place supports me in ways I cannot imagine, and I am thankful for this place and for spring once more.